Good morning. This is Kelloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A South Dakota businessman is accused of illegally taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in COVID relief money. Court documents say Richard Kalmovathan submitted 2 applications for his business, Zolvent Pro LLC. According to its website, Zolvent is located in Harrisburg and sells organic fertilizer.
He received 2 small business startup grants totaling more than $363,000. Investigators say the applications included false statements and representations. Court papers say also accuse him of wire fraud when he bought a luxury watch worth more than $26,000. Stephanie Reiners has spent years being harassed and stalked by a Hurley man. Now she's telling her side of the story. Reiners was one of the women subpoenaed back in 1998 after Greg Farrar called her over 100 times.
Over the years, he's shown up at her work and home, called numerous times, and even sent her letters. She decided to tell her story after he was arrested for allegedly groping an elderly woman in Freeman.
I am still amazed at decade after decade this man has terrorized so many women and has spent minimal time in jail. I just can't wrap my head around it.
The Freeman Police Department is investigating the case. Farrar will be back in court on Monday. Firefighters from across South Dakota gathered in Huron to pay their respects to a fallen firefighter. Josh Kogel, the chief of the Cavor Volunteer Fire Department, passed away after suffering a heart attack while fighting a fire in Huron on Labor Day.
Close to 100 fire vehicles were part of a procession after a memorial service on the state fairgrounds. Battalion Chief Chad Cody came with other members of the Mitchell Fire Department.
When somebody loses their life, we come behind, support the firefighter, support the family, support the community.
What is it about that firefighter brotherhood?
It's just, once a firefighter, always a firefighter. And it doesn't matter where you go, if you're in South Dakota, if you're on the East Coast, West Coast. It just is. It's a brotherhood.
Chief Kogel was 48 years old. He had been a member of the fire department since he was 18.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Mudd. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody. Temperatures today will warm 70s and 80s. Middle 80s found across central South Dakota, upper 70s to near 80 degrees in eastern Ketherland. 78 today in Sioux Falls, 80 in Yankton, 78 in Aberdeen, 87 in Pierre, and 82 in Rapid City. We'll watch for rain tomorrow and tomorrow night. It will move west to east across the area. And the weekend is looking dry and cool. Temperatures in the low to middle 70s for highs. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. 11 new truck parking spaces are at a rest area in McCook County because of federal funding awarded in 2021.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg was in the Salem area yesterday where he heard from truckers, and we asked him about his takeaways.
One of the biggest issues we've heard about is the availability of safe and accessible parking, which is part of what we're investing in right here in South Dakota and several locations around the country. More where that came from.
Buttigieg says he's looking at pay as well for truckers. He explained that drivers are frequently compensated by mile or load instead of the hour. So if time is wasted, that's a cost they have to eat. It took more than a century, but a Civil War veteran who's buried in the Hartford Cemetery will finally get his military headstone. Private Charles Lansing farmed in the Hartford area until his death in 1888, but didn't receive a grave marker until just last week.
A dedication ceremony will be held Saturday afternoon. Organizers hope Lansing's family can attend.
I know he had 5 children. I know we haven't been able to find any of his descendants, which if any of them are out there that could come that day, we would certainly appreciate it.
The VA provided the headstone for free. A grant from the American Revolution, Daughters of the American Revolution, paid for the foundation of the marker. Every Tuesday, a group of Canton area residents do something special for those living in the nursing home.
Retired Pastor Steve Zebarth and a handful of others sit down and have coffee and donuts with some of the old farmers. They talk about everything from farming to old tractors to the latest equipment.
I mean, a lot of these guys have been farmers and have engaged in in the agricultural economy over the years, and so they know all about it. And of course, when they start reminiscing, boy, stories come. It's incredible.
The group has been getting together with the residents for about 10 years now as a way to build friendships.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right. Well, our weather story today is pretty nice weather. I would say overall in the 70s and a few 80s. We'll watch and see if we can, well, get any rain together here on radar. Maybe a couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up in the Black Hills region by late this afternoon and early this evening. There's more where that came from, though, as we get into tomorrow morning. We've got a kind of a broken line here that's developing across southwest South Dakota. Notice the segment kind of straddles here, goes up into the northeast. It's not a full line of rain tomorrow, but there'll be some hits of rain along the way. Even a collection of some frontal boundary forcing there just west of Sioux Falls late tomorrow afternoon. So if we can get that to develop, of course, that's going to depend on how well that moisture converges. There probably will be a few lightning strikes and rumbles of thunder with some of that, but not a widespread heavy rain event. That's probably the main takeaway there. And then, of course, we'll get into the weekend, and then we'll probably cycle back to more dry weather. There are the highs for today. Temperature at 81 in Mitchell, 76 degrees in Brookings, 73 in Marshall. Forecast lows tonight, mid-50s west with those showers and thunder showers on the horizon. And then tomorrow, we'll likely see more of that scattered rain from west and eventually spreading into the Aberdeen area where the rain chance is around 30 to 40%. I think tomorrow night, Sioux Falls, that's our best window of opportunity. We'll kind of tail off those rain chances early Friday morning. And then once that's done, we don't really see much for rain chances Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday at this point. Temperatures, though, start to warm back up next week. We'll bring back some 80s. Aberdeen also looks like after a relatively cooler weekend. Not bad, though. 72 on Saturday, 76 on Sunday. We'll be back to the 80s. That seems to be the default here to climb back up. Pierre will also end up a little bit warmer next week. So not a lot of rain in the 7-day forecast. Really, it's the next 24 to 36 hours. It'll deliver the chances of moisture. And Rapid City in the west, we'll see that chance of rain as well, starting up tonight and lasting into Thursday. And then we'll just cycle through a pleasant weekend. Check out more details about that online at KETHLELAND.com.